And welcome to the Acropolis Rally Greece, the rally of the gods. And as if it wasn't enough that it was the rally of the gods, another god has presented himself. Mads Otsberg will be with us for the weekend. Mads, there is nothing to say. We are sweaty, we are boiling. This is exhausting, and we're not even into any serious business.
No, I mean, it's so warm. I've done this rally many times. I would say over the last few years it's been a different date, so the weather has not been as hot as it is now. But now, in June, the summer is really arrived, and I think it's going to be a hard weekend for the guys.
It's going to be an incredibly hard weekend. Now, I did test the ground temperature earlier, and it was...
How did you do that?
I've been given a thermometer to test our temperatures, but
okay.
I can tell you mine is boiling. But I tested the ground temperature, and it was 56 degrees. So, I mean, it is an absolute scorcher. We are down here to give you an idea. The Acropolis is to my right, start ramp to my left, and this is the stage behind us as well. So this is what is going to happen here in Athens for the next couple of hours. Mads, you've mentioned you've done this rally and we've talked about the heat, but the grueling stages. We've got two new stages, but you're fairly familiar with what problems these stages can throw up.
Yeah, I think even if we have some new stages, they're all going to be the same. It's rough gravel, very hard for the cars. And especially hard for the tires, and now with these temperatures it's also very hard for the crews. So I think, you know, tire strategy will come into play. They need to save their tires, they need to protect the car. So, you know, you see some rallies where the guys are pushing really hard from the start and the speed will be there. I think here we will see a bit more tactics. They will need to play the game a little bit differently and save some tires, and we will see probably a bit of different strategy on where they push and where they try to save.
It's going to be an interesting weekend ahead. There is a full plethora of stages coming up, but tonight just one stage. Friday, Saturday and Sunday packed full of the usual business, well over 300 kilometres of stages. Now, Elfyn Evans sits 19 points ahead of the pack at the moment, but how did we get to this point? Well, Sardinia just finished up, so let's have a look back and remind ourselves what happened there.
The 8-time world champion topped the podium at round 5 in Portugal, and while he's only competing on a part-time basis again this season, the Frenchman showed he's still fully committed to winning at the last event, Rally Italia, Sardinia.
Coming here in Sardinia, we knew the weekend wasn't looking easy. Okay, we came out as a winner of Portugal, but in terms of speed, was missing a little bit. It was extremely fast here. So coming here without testing and with the 3 Toyota cars first on the road, we will be thinking, okay, probably hard to win this one. Winning this first stage straight away was definitely a boost in our hopes. But we knew it will be a long day, and that's always key on any gravel event. You need to be fast on Friday as much as we can to pick up better start position for the rest of the weekend.
So the best possible start for Ogier, and it quickly became apparent his only opposition would come from Hyundai, as stage 2 was definitely one to forget for M Sport Ford. Greg Munster and Josh McAleen brought to a halt after impacts in these rough, rocky stages. Damaged suspension for both, while a high-speed off would bring an early end to Martin Sesk's rally.
So this is Martin Sesk.
Oh, you fighter! He's gone off. He's rolled it. I'm sure that's gone over. Oh, you couldn't write this. He'd have been flat in 5th. He's gone up over the crest, lost the back of the car.
That place was meant to be flat in our loads. We did it flat. Or I missed the apex maybe a little bit, but yeah. Well, actually the mistake wasn't that big as the consequence was.
But the Hyundais were avoiding trouble and showing the speed Sebastian Ogier had feared, as Thierry Neuville, Adrian Fourmont and Oyt Tanak all went ahead of the Frenchman on the opening day. But on stage 5, rally leader Neuville got slightly offline, where a roadside wall was waiting to remove a rear wheel from the I-20.
We went 10 centimeters wide and we hit the stone, so we left our rear wheel there, and that was the end of the rally. It came as a big surprise, to be honest. I was close to flat this morning, and for me, I noted it as flat this afternoon. but obviously it didn't went well.
The repeat of the stage that caused so much trouble for Ford also interrupted Takamoto Katsuta's progress. But the Japanese driver was soon back on the pace thanks to a little help from the spectators. Elsewhere in the Toyota camp, the challenge for the top spot was back on course.
We even managed last stage of the day to set another fastest time and take the lead, so that was really better than expected.
So going into Saturday's stages, Adrien Fourmeau was now the main challenger to Sébastien Ogier. But once again this season, the Frenchman's hard work to establish himself near the top of the timesheets would unravel in spectacular style. A stage 8 puncture, followed by a visit to the trees in the next test, cost him the best part of 5 minutes. And while the famous jump on the Lerno stage caused no problems, Fourmeau wouldn't get much further.
As we head downhill, he's carrying a lot of speed down here though, Bex. He's got to start scrubbing that off. We're going way too quick.
Oh no, that's a roll then for Fourmeau. Complete disaster today for Adrien. The man who'd been in the lead of this event and fighting right at the front. It's game over now.
Where Hyundai faltered, Toyota benefited, as both Kalle Rovanperä and championship leader Elvin Evans, road sweepers from Friday, moved up the leaderboard. While Ogier was still in control at the top, but he still had one Hyundai to contend with.
Oit was always there, and Oit somewhere between 10 and 15 seconds behind. Of course, it's never relaxed because I know he will always going to push maximum and put the pressure to the end. So last night I really worked extra hours on the video to be sure that this new stages this morning was really wide in the pace knot.
And the pressure from Oit Tanak seemed to be affecting Seb on the final day. Uncharacteristic errors costing him seconds. Offline on stage 14.
Oh, there you go. Now that he's gotten away with that, he has gotten away with that. But very, very tricky stage. And Seb just right at the end of the stage, going straight through the banner, straight lining a little right-left chicane. He'll have gotten away with it.
And also looking a touch ragged on stage 15.
Whoa! That was really on two wheels coming over that.
The guts of a ton and a half landed on that corner. It shows how strong they are.
But Ogier was still holding a lead of 17.2 seconds over Tanak going into the final stage.
Obviously, the sport stage always have something to say and little scare up to the end.
In 2024, a puncture for Ogier in the final stage had victory to Tanak by a minuscule 0.2 of a second. And for a moment, it looked as if history might repeat itself.
Oh, no! Simple as that. Now, he's got away with it. He's got to get that in reverse as quickly as possible, recover that. Now, that's for me, I think that's Super Sunday gone.
Yeah, well, it could be.
But I think the rally lead is safe.
If it wasn't for that small little tree there, it actually kind of helped him in a way. It stopped him, didn't it? Otherwise, he could have been off down the bank. Yeah, he's just put himself under a bit of pressure, hasn't he, with that moment. Well, we always see down-to-the-wire fights, it seems, in Sardinia.
Nervous moments, but Sébastien Ogier wouldn't be denied a record-breaking 5th victory in Sardinia.
Yeah, I've been told now it's the 5th rally where I held the record, so it's not that bad. You know, everybody know the one which I cheer the most. It's always Monte Carlo, but this rally here, I think I very, very often been fast here. I often finish second as well, or have some little setback close to the end, and I'm happy that this time the luck was on our side this weekend and we need another time.
The eventual winning margin, 7.9 seconds. Behind the top two, Kalle Rovanperä took maximum Super Sunday bonus points on his way to 3rd, while Elvin Evans claimed 4th. The Welshman's total haul of 15 points keeps him on top of the drivers' standings, but it's now Sébastien Ogier in 2nd place, 19 points behind his teammate. And Toyota increased their lead over Hyundai in the Teams Championship to 69 points. All of which leaves just one question. Sébastien Ogier may have elected for a partial programme again this season, but is he now a genuine contender to equal Sébastien Loeb's record of 9 drivers' titles?
The decision is still the same. There is no change in my program, and yeah, you'll see me in Greece. So I've done 4 out of 6 and still being second. So no, it's great, and more importantly, Toyota have won every single event so far. So we have the pressure on our shoulder to try to keep this run going.
Well, there we go. That's everything that happened in Sardinia. I didn't think Sébastien Ogier would change his mind about the season, but he has said that he won't change his mind. It will stick as it is, which gives Kalle Rovanperä a good chance to sort of fight for this title that we've got going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a long way to go, so maybe his mind will change. We will see after a few more rallies, I guess. This one, again, it's a strong rally for Seb. Strategy comes into play, he will always be there.
Well, indeed, he will. But right now, it is Meet the Crews with Molly Pettit, so I'm going to hand down to her. We'll see you on the other side of it.
Kalispera, good afternoon, Athens, Greece, and to everybody watching. Welcome to our Meet the Crews session at this fantastic location where Stage 1 will be kicking off soon. Let's introduce our drivers who are joining us for a quick chat. It is hot, I know. Thank you for coming down here. Representing Toyota, we have our 2-time World Rally Champion, Kalle Rovanperä. Representing Hyundai, we have Adrien Fourmeau, and we have the 2024 co-driver World Rally Champion, Martijn Wiedager. Representing M-Sport, Gregoire Munster. And representing Greece and WRC2, we have Georgios Alexandros Amouchas. Welcome, guys. We'll kick off with our 2-time World Rally Champion, Kalle Rovanperä. Kalle, consistency has been a big thing for you lately. You seem to be getting to grips with this new tire. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say a little bit getting better all the time. And yeah, finally now we have at least a few good rallies under the belt. So hoping for a next good one.
What can you say about this year's Acropolis rally?
It's going to be quite tough. I would say more rough conditions than before. It has been always a tough event, but even more rough this year. Super hot weekend coming up, so it's going to be a big challenge.
Thank you very much. Adrien, I know that you had a bit of a tourist look around this town before you kicked off with Recce. What did you take from that experience?
Well, I went to the Olympic Arena, the old one, so the beginning of the modern area. It was really nice to see the story of this place, and actually it's a shame we don't do the ceremonial start at this area, but we are just close, so that's really good. Actually it was nice, and but now I'm just really looking forward to the rally. It's going to be a tough one, a bit maybe different than the others, a bit more like Kenya style. So it's going to be, yeah, as you said, really, really difficult. But also, I think we need to add the temperature. And the weather is quite clean with us, with a really nice sun, but also a lot of temperature. So it's going to be, yeah, really difficult inside the cockpit, which can reach 60 or 70 degrees. So it's going to be really hot.
It's been a pretty tough season since Rally Monte Carlo, and you've mentioned that you started working with a sports psychologist. Can you share a bit about what that work is like?
Yeah, actually, for sure, the season did start quite well, and then after we had some issue in every rallies. So sometimes technical, sometimes my fault. So it's a difficult start of the season, but there were still 8 events to do, and I'm really hoping that we can get some good result now from now, and we are working on it, myself, but also the team. So it's it's all in progress.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Martijn, our only co-driver up there. What is it like to be a co-driver here? You're smiling quite a lot. You seem quite comfortable with the heat.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite warm, but I enjoy it, and I like this kind of challenges. I think I try to do a good preparation for this, for the heat and for the physical training and so on. So for that, I feel quite ready, but let's see. I think it will be quite tough, especially tomorrow. It will be a long day, and yeah, the stages are very rough. To keep concentrating in these hot conditions as well, it will be quite a big challenge, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Is the training and preparation for such a hot event, is this any different?
Yeah, I mean, you try to search for warm conditions and do some physical training in the warm conditions, and this is what I did. And yeah, I can feel a big difference actually. If you are used to it, you can put your line a little bit further every time. So let's see if it works tomorrow. And happy birthday, Molly.
Thank you. Yesterday, but thank you very much.
Sorry, too late.
Greg, Sardinia. That was a tough one for you and for the team, but like you mentioned several times there, you were able to put in a proper test for this rally. Talk to us a bit about what you were working on there coming into this event.
Yeah, we used the Saturday afternoon to try all different kind of things. Basically driving a very high ride height, trying different things with the spring and so on, and that gave us some answer for in Greece. I think you've seen it in the past. It's always a really demanding event for all crew and cars, with only a few cars finishing the event actually. And I think this year will be even worse with a trickier stage condition and then the weather, which will be tricky for all crew. So yeah, let's see.
Can you share with everyone the temperatures that are reached inside the cockpit?
It's difficult to be exact, but if it's around 35, 40 outside, it's going to be around 60, maybe more in the car.
And do you think much about that, or are you just fully concentrated on the driving that you don't almost notice?
I think you don't think a lot about it, but you just feel it. It's like at some point your body just can't take it anymore. So actually you need to be aware of it, and if you don't feel well, it's better to back off a bit. It's going to be the case for anyone, but for sure if you're well prepared, it's helping in the stage.
Thank you. And someone who does know a lot about these kind of temperatures, these kind of stages, Georgios, thank you for joining us here at Meet the Crews. It's your second Acropolis rally. How is it to be standing up here with these guys this afternoon?
Hello, it's amazing to stand to those guys. Yeah, since I was a child, I was dreamed of driving in Acropolis rally, one of the most iconic rallies in the world. So thanks to my sponsors, Skoda and Inalan, now we are here, and I'm so happy about it.
I've been made aware of a story from last year, something about the time card that went missing.
Yeah.
What happened there?
We just lost it.
You lost it. That's unfortunate, but it can happen in the heat, of course. What is your plan for this weekend? You're in WRC 2.
Yeah, we have to be careful. The stages are rough. We have to stay calm. We want to finish the rally, and we will try to keep up with those fast guys here.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions from the fans, and you guys will be able to go and find some shade. Adrienne, here is a question from a fan on Instagram. If you have any superstitions or rituals that you have to do before getting into the car?
No, I don't really have. So maybe I need one, but actually I don't.
How about you, Kalle?
Not really. Before getting in the car, nothing special. We have these fireproof socks, like the whole underwear. I always use the left sock on the right and right on the left.
Martijn, there's someone on Instagram who has asked if there is an argument in the rally car, if you are disagreeing on something, who is it that usually wins that argument?
No doubt. You just say, yeah, it's fine. And that's the problem solved. So no argument.
It's not like a typical relationship where there will be some arguing.
No.
You always agree.
Yeah, I always know. We don't have very often an argument in the car, and if there is, these are things to be discussed after the rally. But it's all love and peace with us.
That sounds very nice. Greg, this is an interesting one. Now, you're wearing a cap at the moment, but somebody on Instagram would like to know what your hair care routine is.
Yeah, not much to say about it. I get out of the shower, dry them with a towel, and put some gel in it. That's about it.
Sounds pretty straightforward. But somebody appreciates your hair, that's for sure.
That's very nice of them. Thank you. Although I have some receding hairline, you know.
Come on, Gilbert, we want to see your hair.
No, it's fine.
Georgios, finally, would you like to say some words, please, in Greek to all of the fans who are here this evening?
Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ που είστε όλοι εδώ σήμερα. Το Rally Acropolis 2025 ξεκινάει σε λίγο. Και πιστέψτε μας, ειλικρινά, όλα τα ελληνικά πληρώματα σας έχουμε ανάγκη και σας χρειαζόμαστε.
Thank you very much, guys. It's 40+ degrees. You've been stood there in the sun very patiently. Thank you and good luck for this rally.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Meet the crews. You may have just seen us doing a bit of the breeze has come down, so we're doing a bit of a celebratory dance because it is finally getting a bit cooler down here in terms of a bit of breeze, Mads. I honestly don't think, probably Rome 2 years ago for ERC was when we felt this kind of heat. I haven't felt this kind of heat on a rally in a long time.
No, I think it was last year actually. Rome was incredibly hot, but this is some kind of record. Honestly, on the way down here, I had to stop and jump in the sea just to cool down a bit. It is very warm, but that's a part of this challenge.
Yeah, it's part of the challenge. All right, well, you did just see what was going on in Sardinia, listening to some of the drivers with Molly Pettit. Now, we will also be talking shakedown in a bit. Tonight, though, it's all about this super special street stage. This is just a bit of a crowd pleaser, a bit of a wow factor, but in fact, things can go wrong on super specials.
They can, for sure, and I think we have said it so many times, like you can lose a lot, you cannot gain a lot in these type of stages. This one is very short, it's basically just a few left-hand corners, a few donuts on some roundabouts, so but still, you know, the guys will push to try and gain a little bit of a time. We have seen it so many times that, you know, you fight for a whole weekend and it comes down to the tenths, so you cannot give away a lot for sure, but yeah, stay clean and a small push to enjoy and to give the crowd some smiles.
Well, we saw absolute disaster last year in Greece with Sebastian Ogier, so if it can catch out the best of the very best in the world,
it can.
Yeah. You never know what's in store. What do we think we're going to see from the Hyundais this weekend in terms of performance?
Oh, I think, you know, they always are very fast, and I think rough rallies can suit them really well, but we have seen that the car is a bit fragile on the last couple of rough rallies, so they need to clean that up, but the speed is definitely there. I think basically they have had all the troubles they can have now, so they have been through the whole car. Hopefully the car can stick together. We know that all their drivers is really good. They can really fight on the top, and they need to fight on the top now. They need to do some catching up.
Sort of clawing it back. Well, we do know that Colin McRae has got the most amount of wins, incredibly, here with 5 wins, but it is Kalle Rothenperä and Thierry Neuville with 2 apiece. So it just does show that it can be any man's game out there.
Yeah, I think so, and I think this rally you need a bit of luck as well. Normally I never like to say that you need a bit of luck, but here you actually do. There are so many challenges. There are loose rocks. It's so rough. You need a car to do the job as well. So you need a bit of luck here.
Well, as you probably know by now, shakedown has already happened. It started first thing this morning. So let's have a look back at exactly what happened out there in shakedown.
Greece hosts round 7 of the WRC season. Stunning scenery, but this is the Acropolis Rally, which is set to be the hottest and toughest event of the year. Elfyn Evans still leads the championship, so he will be road sweeping once again as he bids to stay ahead of the chasing pack.
3 left doors, 4 in lane, 5 left long.
Kalle Rothenperä starts third behind part-time teammate Sebastian Ogier, the hanging dust proving an issue in shakedown. Oyt Tanak and Hyundai are still hunting their first win of the year. Could this be their weekend? The Estonian was third quickest. World champion Thierry Neuville won this event last year and continued where he left off, setting the fastest time in shakedown. Josh McAlean may not have much experience here, but he was quickest of the M Sport Fords in the opening run. Thierry Neuville setting the early pace ahead of Toyota's Takamoto Katsuta, Oitanak finishing ahead of Rovanperä and the returning Ogier.
Well, there we go. To start with, it was Josh McAlean that was fastest through on the first run, which was a bit of a surprise for us, but it was Taka then Thierry that sort of finished it up. Not necessarily hugely indicative ever of the whole of the rally, but that quite close to what we might see in some aspects.
Yeah, I think so. You know, the shakedown was really representative. I did the recce of the shakedown, and it's really similar character to the stages. So I would say it's giving a better idea than maybe some of the shakedowns we are doing. So we could also see a bit of a play with the tires there on the shakedown, which is never surprising. But you know, you saw some drivers taking the soft tire on shakedown. I don't expect that you will use a lot of soft tire. If you're aggressive in your mind, then I think for sure you can play a bit with the tires, especially for Sunday. And there might be some rain as well.
There might be some rain. We have heard of a bit of talk of rain on Saturday, but that is quite a distance off. There is a lot of challenges to come. Just a reminder as well that the juniors are back here. I don't know why, but we seem to give the juniors the roughest of the rides, the most difficult of the rallies.
It's going to be so tough for them. I mean, it's hard for the WRC cars. It's even harder for the WRC 2, but then in the junior cars, for sure, it's they went to Portugal as well, yes. And then they come here to Greece, and it's probably the two hardest events of the season. So it's a big challenge for them, but at the same time, you know, learning to be a rally driver, you want to be fast, but also one hugely important thing, which we see the master himself, Ogier, is always doing so well, is the strategy and protecting car and tires. If you can learn the junior stat from the very beginning, it's an advantage.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, well, we've got the juniors, WRC2 and WRC here, all battling it out across the full plethora of stages. On your screen now are the stages and the times that they are coming up throughout the weekend, so you can just see there and give you a full idea of the rundown of exactly what's happening. Here tonight, we'll start the stage at 6 o'clock. You'll see action from 6 o'clock tonight. Local time, that is in just about 15 minutes time or so. But what's on your screen is what's happening over the weekend. So make sure you tune in for every bit of dramatic action. Friday, in all of its glory, is already such a tough day. It's going to be enough just to see if they can all get through Friday.
Yeah, I mean, the Fridays tend to be very hard. Same on a few previous rallies as well, and Friday is going to be huge for everyone. The tire wear, it's probably the roughest stages of the rally is on Friday, and there is no midday service, only a remote service. Yeah. Which is a huge challenge, and they are then limited with the parts they can take, with the parts they can change on the car. So yeah, it's going to be a huge challenge.
Well, are you ready for this? This is going to be one heck of a bumpy ride. Well, as I said, the stage just behind us will start in the next 15 minutes or so. You'll see some of the start ramp as well. That's all happening in front of you. And then this epic weekend of motorsport coming up for you here at Acropolis at Rally Greece. All right, well, we'll see you very shortly with the first of the stages.